Oh, so as I was saying, the coin represents the human experience. You, as the human, are aware of the side that is acceptable and lovable. You nurture and grow it. But on the other side, there's a side that is unacceptable and unlovable. That is the neglected side. And when I say
Okay,
neglected,
yeah, I
I mean
agree.
you've not made a conscious effort to nurture it because you don't know it
Yeah,
exists.
so it always remains. Yeah, and by doing that, it remains in its infancy. The same way like an artist, they develop their art over years. I start drawing. I'm gonna draw like a 9-year-old because I haven't nurtured it. You know what I mean? But you've seen those things I send you of people that draw. They came to discover on higher artists. It all comes with working on it.
Yeah, if you
Like
practice
any
something
skill.
long enough, you'll be good at it.
You practice. Yeah, whatever is in your shadow, because you've neglected it. Once it's expressed it's in its infancy because you haven't really developed it.
Now, this is a classic example of precognition. Precognition comes when you know something before that something happens. And so if this was a word, I would say that you have precognized something I wanted to bring to your attention.
Oh, which is what? Let me hear what you had prepared.
Hold on. The shadow holds our infant-like characteristics, our emotional attachment, and our neurotic symptoms. The infant-like characteristics is when a grown adult starts having infant-like characteristics. They are channeling a piece of their shadow that did not grow up with him because for one reason or another they had to put this characteristic into the shadow. They lack emotional development in that section. They may have low tolerance for stress and anxiety, and they have not developed age-appropriate defense mechanisms. So the only option for them is to channel that piece of them that never progressed. So they are not regressing. They are not going back into their childhood or into the child within. No, they actually never grew up. And that's what it means to tell someone like grow up. Like we are adults here. We are adults here. We are not teenagers.
Yeah, act like one.
So act like one, exactly. And so on the emotional attachment that our shadow holds, right? If someone wants to say, so what's in my shadow? It's those infant-like characteristics that would have someone else telling you to grow up. Or even have you, when you're in a good mood, tell you that was in a bad mood to grow up.
Yeah.
You are channeling that shadow, that piece of you that you are refusing to accept. Then emotional attachment is that feeling you feel that allows you to maintain a meaningful relationship over time. Like it allows you to feel close and affectionate with people. This is what links us as humans. This emotional attachment connects us all. The kind of emotional attachment you develop is based on the earliest connections you made in life. So you can only express that which you learn and understand to be true. So your immediate family teaches you this by monkey see, monkey do. An example, if your parents or caregivers were available, sensitive, responsive, and accepting, you develop a secure attachment. You learn how to trust, and your self-esteem is high. If your parents and caregivers were not always accepting, sensitive, or responsive, then you develop an anxious, insecure attachment because you are never sure what you're going to get. This lack of predictability could potentially turn you into a needy, a clingy, angry, and distrustful adult.
Yeah.
If your parents or caregivers had trouble accepting or had trouble being sensitive and were always making you feel like you were exaggerating your feelings and they rejected what you felt, you will develop an avoidant and insecure attachment. You will start to be self-reliant and you learn to shut down your own feelings since nobody actually cares. Like an example, when a child falls, instead of running to the mother, they run to the bathroom to cry. Because they know if they go to the mother will beat them, yell at them, humiliate
it's gonna be more trouble on top of already trouble. Pain on top of pain.
It's like they are using their ego to show how much they have control over their kids. Look at this one. Why would you fall? Like, are you saying that to get attention? Do you realize this is your child? Do you realize they can't go anywhere else but to you? So I guess either way, if you are bound to be born in such a circumstance, your life is going to be screwed up.
Yeah.
But having that screwed up life, stumbling by mistake onto your spiritual path where you find out that you've been guided all along, that is truth.
Yeah.
You know what that truth does to you? You wake up one day and you realize, I can have whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. And oh, that leads me to Psalms. Remember I told you about Psalms 123? Remember how I told you I wrote this and then I just had this revelation and I said, you know what? Let me go review this. So hold on, let me get to it. Oh, all right. So the Lord is my shepherd. That is your relationship with God. He is always in control. Regardless of what is showing up in your reality right now, God knows us from our mother's womb and He has seen our entire future. Learn to look to the shepherd so you don't end up being someone's prey. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. And I'm trying to explain that. He supplies you with everything you need. Remember, what you want and what you need are very different. God knows your needs and works 24 hours a day, 365 days a year to bring those to you. Even in the worst situations imaginable, we need to remember that God thought it necessary. And when the divine timing is right, we shall understand. But through it all, we are supposed to be grateful. The third sentence, He leads me beside quiet waters. He is the only one that can quench the thirst of your soul. Allow Him to give you refreshment. Sit in His midst. You know what that means? You don't sit for 1 second. Sit in His midst. You don't sit for 1 second. You don't sit for 1 minute. You sit down. You take your time. You dedicate actual time to this kind of work.
Yeah.
There's no rush. It comes when it's ready. So take your time. And you need to take your time in a way that is in alignment with the Creator, is in doing what you enjoy, doing it with love, and experiencing joy. When you're in that cycle, when you're doing that, things will just come to you. And then on to the next sentence. He restores my soul. He is the only one who can restore you. He brings you back to whole. He changes you back to 100%. When you're feeling broken, return to the manufacturer. He knows what you need, so always seek Him. Like if there was any instructions about you, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
If you really want to know yourself, look within yourself. He guides me in the paths of righteousness. There are many paths out there, but the righteous path is illuminated by His light. Here you are safe. The only destination is your soul enlightenment. The next sentence, for His name's sake, He gives you your life purpose. He made you just like a manufacturer understands his products. He understands you. He has a piece of Him within you, and that is the reason why love exists. Love and be loved. Infuse love in everything you do, because our God is love in manifestation. That is why no matter what you have done, when He forgives you and He loves you. It's like you never did anything. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I mean, you go to school to learn, then you get tested, And either you pass on to the next level or you have to relearn till you pass the test. Life is not different. Some tests will leave you feeling sad, angry, lonely, ashamed. But does the teacher ever leave the student alone during the test? Call on him even during your worst nightmares, because guess what? He's always there, and he will always be there within you. Not in church, not at the club. It's within you. It can be within you while you're at church. It can be within you while you're at the club. It can be within you when you're on vacation. But it's always within you.
Yeah, you're right.
It's technically saying it's not a matter of what I bring to the table. It's I am the fucking table. It says, I will fear no evil. And it says, I am with the shepherd who is fully armored to protect me as his sheep. The armor of God is the only armor you need. No darkness can exist when the light is directed at it. I am well protected. I will walk with faith, not fear. If not for anything else, then just because, hey, my dad owns the fucking place.
Yeah, exactly.
Babe, do you know how amazing that feels?
I know, yeah. Na nikiona nikwiraga nditigiraga indo ta ghost kana ki cause whatever it is, ni enjoy de na hinya gucigneta gukorwo gitigira muruti wa wira wa your dad. Like why? Ni chagiro gukorwo kimwira what they should be doing. You know what I mean?
You're right. And let me tell you something. Love does not mean that I'll always be there telling you, oh, I love you, oh, I miss you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Love is very open. Love can be also very tough.
Sure.
So just because God does not whisper in your ear every day, you're my favorite, you're my girl, you know what I mean? Does not mean that that's not the fact.
Sure.
For me, that was so empowering. I was like, man, the human experience, here we come. Don't be too serious with life. Don't be too serious with life. Laugh, live, and love.